I want to talk about damaging experiences. They come from a multitude of places. Experiences, events, relationships can be something that a person we admire says to us that is negative or judgmental. And that damage, that one statement can follow us through our entire lives. And so I would like to talk about what started me on this journey to identifying damage and how to repair it. It happened quite by accident. I was doing a weekend workshop up at my house in Lake Arrowhead in the mountains about 25 or 30 years ago. And this actor got up in front of the group and started to talk about how he was so inept, unable to use his hands. He couldn't even use a screwdriver to take a screw out of a piece of wood or a shelf or something. And he said it all started when he was very young. Well, he was younger. He was in the Boy Scouts. He was in the garage at his home, and he was building a birdhouse because it was an assignment for his troop. Everybody had a project that they had to bring in to the Boy Scout troop. And he was in the garage, and his father walked in as he was working on the birdhouse. His father stood there looking at him with this scowl, looking at him so intently. And he said, "John, what is that? What is that you're doing? That's awful. None of the wood roof part of that even matches. That's awful. You know, son, you have no talent in this area, and please don't use my tools anymore. Just, that's awful. I've never seen anything so inept and amateurish." Well, from that moment on, Johnny never picked up not only his father's tools, but anybody's tools. So he got up there and I said, you know, I wasn't into repairing the damage at this point. This is 25 or 30 years ago, but this is where it all started. I said, Johnny, let's try something. Off the top of my head, I don't even know where it came from. I said, I want you to tell the story you just told us, only I want you to change the ingredients of the story and the outcome. Like your father comes in and he looks at what you're doing and he's impressed. So start talking about it. So Johnny started talking about it, and this is what he said. He said, so I'm working on the birdhouse. My father came in, and I saw him, and he smiled at me, and he looked at what I was doing, and he walked closer to what I was doing and said, wow, that's really inventive. You know, let me help you pick the color for this because you want to attract the birds. Where did you get this design? It's really inventive. I mean, it shows a lot of talent just from, what was it, Popular Mechanics or something? And Johnny says, no, Dad, I just kind of did it as I went along. So he said, well, it's great. And I think the Boy Scout troop is really going to really appreciate what you did. And so he said, paint it red. So that's what I did. And that's what happened. So by doing that, Johnny repairing the damage, I asked him to do it several times over and over, maybe 4 or 5 times at that point. And he kept repeating it, adding elements, positive elements, changing the ingredients and the outcome of it. After about a half hour, maybe a little more, he had finished the 4th or 5th installment of how he changed the experience. I asked him, how do you feel? He paused for a moment or two and he said, I feel different. I said, different? He said, yeah, I still remember how bad I felt in the original experience, but now in retelling it, I have a different feeling about my father. And I feel a little bit less angry. So I said, okay, I think you need to repeat it 20 times, 30 times, not 4 times, 5 times, but 20 or 30 times. And pretty soon you're going to reprogram that damaging experience that lives in your unconscious. Because the unconscious doesn't evaluate, doesn't analyze, it doesn't question, it's a storehouse. So if you reprogram that memory bank and you change the ingredients and the outcome, ultimately it will stop liberating the negative part and start liberating the positive elements. So why don't you try that? Well, thank you for watching. Now, if you've enjoyed these videos, tell a friend. And for more information about videos, my books, my classes, go to my website, www.ericmorris.com. And until next time, this is Eric Morris saying, no acting, please.